Hello. Hi, so I'm Stuart, and this is Thibaut, and we're here to present our project, CodeHelp. So before I dive into the project itself, I just want to give you a bit of background on what we've discovered while learning to code. So you actually only spend about 20% of your time writing code, and 80% of your time is spent trying to get unstuck and trying to solve problems which come up in your way day after day after day. And this is hugely painful and frustrating as a student. It takes hours and hours and hours of time to dive into developer documentation, to go find blogs, to go to forums. And you could go to some site like Stack Overflow, and you could post an answer there to try and get help. But you may never get an answer, or you may get an answer next week. You just don't know. And so what the experience is like, it's a bit like finding Where's Wally, or in France, I know you guys say Where's Charlie, in that you know there's an answer there somewhere, you just don't know where it is.
And we also noticed that it's not just a problem with us learners, but it's also a problem that most developers feel at some point in their career, and maybe even throughout their whole career. So it applies to also junior developers and definitely mid-level developers as well. Luckily, for us, the answer is definitely one-on-one interactions. We noticed during Ironhack that every time we were stuck on an issue, we could spend 5 or 4 hours trying to fix it on our own, or we could call a teacher and fix it in 5 minutes and understand it better. And so in one-on-one interactions, you really gain a lot of time, you get more productive, and you also learn better. So this is what the problem appeared, is what happens at the end of Ironhack when we don't have a teacher right next to us to help us.
And so that's where the idea for CodeHelp came in. So what CodeHelp does is it connects junior developers to more senior developers. And this is great for both sides of the spectrum. So as a junior, you can save countless hours, you learn much quicker, you get targeted help, and you can be a lot more productive. So you spend much more time coding and less time searching for answers online and wasting time. And as a senior developer, you get to give back to the developer community, which a lot of developers like to do anyway. And you get to earn an extra income if you wish to charge for your help. So what we're going to do now is we're going to give you a quick demo of what we've built in the last couple of weeks. I'm going to play the role of a teacher, or senior developer, over here.
And I'm the student. I shouldn't have clicked on that. Okay, so naturally, since I want to learn, I go to CodeHelp. So I can check out the landing page. I can see that, they have a few teachers that are subscribed. I can see the students, and yeah, it was good. So I decided to log in. So I'm gonna log in with a pretty standard email. Yeah, I'm just called student as well. Typing with one hand is really slow. All right, so now that I logged in, I can see all the teachers that are available on the platform. I can see the ones that are online. I can scroll through that. So I have many basic information about them. If I want to dive deeper into what they do and what they know, I can check out their profile. So I can see their ratings, I can see the description that they had, as well as the coding skills that they have. If I want, I can check on their GitHub account. And I also have the last feedback that they received from a teacher after a lesson, from a student after a lesson, sorry. So now that I know that Stuart is actually the person that I want to call, so I'm going to call him. Yeah, so it loads the platform. You can see the live code editor that appeared on the screen. So Stuart welcomes me with a message. I can jump on a call with him. Yeah, so you can see my face, hopefully. I can see his face. So we have a live interaction, and he can also request for what we call co-browse, which is I sharing my screen with him. And so this way we can have a live session of code. So I copy-pasted code for the sake of the presentation because I do not want to type it. You saw how long it was to just type my email, so I didn't want to type my code. So now I can ask him, well, Stuart, I have an issue with this, like this code doesn't work. What's your idea about that? And so, well, he doesn't have a mic, so he cannot really reply. But you see that he added a few equal signs because everybody who coded a little knows that what was shown before couldn't work. Yeah. So there it is. So now that the session is great, he answered my question, so I can now close the call. I'm actually gonna close the co-browsing first, and then I can close the call. And now this is done. I say, I've finished. I have everything I wanted. So I click on that, and now I go. I get to a feedback page where I can basically rate him. So I can give him like maybe a middle rating or maybe the great rating. Like I think it was really great. If I want to submit that right away, I won't be able to do that because we really want to get feedback from the students. So it's mandatory. By the way, you can also see how long the call lasted and how much you will be charged. Stuart is pretty cheap, so €4 is okay. So now I can tell him, great session. Yeah, and so now I can leave him my feedback. And then I can share it on social media if I want. I'm gonna try to click that. I hope it's not gonna break everything because it's because of the presentation. But basically, if I click here, it's gonna open a page. Trust me. try it on your phone actually if you want. So yeah, now that I click somewhere else, it goes back to the page. And yeah, something I forgot to share to show is that we have a search bar. So if I want to search for a specific language, for example, TypeScript. I know that Yassine is the only teacher that knows it, so he's gonna show up. If I make a few typos, it's gonna still show him, but if I make too many typos, it's not gonna show him anymore. So yeah, you also can search for a specific teacher or writing their name down. So if I want to have a call with Jad, I can have him straight away. That's it for the demo. So now we can come back to the presentation.
So there you have a quick overview of what we built in the last couple of weeks. These are some of the technologies we've used, and I think for both of us, one of the most challenging but rewarding parts of the program was having to take all of these different technologies, plugins, APIs, and to try and make them all work together, which wasn't always easy. We had to try a lot of different combinations and throw some stuff away and find some new plugins and new packages, but we got there in the end. In terms of next steps for the tech side of things, so we'd like to add payment functionality, so we could actually process card payments after the call, so we could charge the students and transfer that money to the teachers. We'd like to embed a more functioning code editor, so you can actually run code in the browser. And we also think it'd be nice to have scheduling, so that when you go online, you can pick a slot to have your call with your teacher.
And on the product side of things, obviously what we lack now is feedback. So I invite you all to sign up to code-help.co. Create an account. If you're a teacher, create a teacher account. If you're a student, obviously create a student account. And yeah, try it out. Let us know what you think. You can reach both of us at our emails here. It was a pleasure doing this presentation. Yeah, that's it. If you have any questions. Yeah, if you have questions, ask away.
Do you have any question? Yes, Amelia. I'm going to bring you the... I love to do that.
Hello. Okay. Just a quick question about when you accounted for the typo in the search. Was that complicated to do? How did you do that?
That was actually very easy because we used so on the tech stack that we showed, we're using a package that's called Fuse.js that handles a lot of the searching parts of the app basically. So you can add a lot of options. So for example, I added that I wanted to let people search for languages and for their name. I could have added more things like that. Like I could have added a search for the rating, for example, things like that. And you can also set a threshold at which it's gonna turn up. So you can also, if I wanted, I could have said I don't want any typos. I just want exact matches. So I could have forced people to write that. But I think it's a much better experience to be able to make some typos. We all do.
Yeah, that's a cool feature.
Is that why I can speak without microphone? Is that a project you want to carry on, or it was just made for like learning?
So it's something which we would like to at least carry on for a little while to see how it works. One of the nice things is that being part of Ironhack, we have access to a lot of beta testers, both on the student side and both on the teacher side. So we can actually run it and see how it goes. There are a couple of sites which are trying to do similar things out there, which we didn't know at the time, but we've since come across. So we will probably give it a go for a little while. We think it'll be useful at least even as an internal tool for Ironhack. Because when we're coming into Ironhack, when we had to do our interviews and our prep, it was mainly done by just copy and pasting code into Slack or trying to communicate that way, which didn't really fit the bill for when you're trying to communicate with the teachers. So this would be a much more native and improving experience for both sides.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about the technical side? How nice is the code from your point of view?
I'd give it like a 7, probably. Yeah, so we went through today and we removed all of our console logs, and it's, I'd say, averagely well commented. We have comments in like the complicated part to try and remind us what we did and why and when. It's certainly not the prettiest code we've written, I don't think, but
it's okay. I mean, it really depends on which part of the application you look at. There are definitely some, so since we use Vue, there are some components that are really neat, that we really, like the first one basically that we did, we spent a lot of time doing them and they were really polished. And at the end, as the time passed by, we noticed, oh wow, the presentation is in 2 days, so now we need to actually get stuff done, so this gets a bit all over the place. One thing that we did not really have time to do, but I really want to do it next time I pair program or program with the team, is actually making use of GitHub to create branches when you want to start on something. We basically, since we had 2 weeks to do that, and we still didn't feel very confident about like doing pull requests and stuff like that, so it takes some time. We basically pushed on the same branch all the time, which is definitely not the best practice, but since we were coding side by side, so we could do that fairly without any issue.
Thank you.
Thank you.